previous lecture of analog to digital converter, we studied about the analog to digital block diagram. Also, we studied the important features related to the analog to digital converter of Atmega 328P. Now, in this particular register, we will study about the registers which are associated with the analog to digital converter. So, till now, we discussed about the features of the ADC of the Atmega. In the block diagram, as some registers were shown. So now we'll start with these registers to basically what is this registers and what is the need of these registers. See, to interface the ADC module, as we all know that we have to interface or we have to program the microcontroller through a software. And if we, for that, we need a group of registers. These registers may be for data storage, they may be for some type of selection. So in for ADC, we need to study six different types of registers. The first is an ADMUX register, which is a multiplexer selection register. Then next is ADC control and status register A. Third one is ADC control and status register B. Then comes the ADC high data register and low data register, which are used for the storage of the 10-bit data, as we have discussed in the two slides before. And the last one is a digital input digital disable register. So we'll proceed with the all the six registers one by one. Now coming to the first register, that is an ADMUX register. Now we'll discuss about this register bit by bit. First, talking about the seventh and the sixth bit. Obviously, it is an 8-bit register. So let us start with the seventh and the sixth bit. These bits are basically reference selection bits. Now, what is this reference selection bit? As we have already discussed, that we need to make the microcontroller understand that what will be the range of voltage that will be coming in. Low reference is set by it is by default 0, and for the higher reference we have options, that is A reference, AVCC, and the internal 1.1 volts. So how to select that? If in the seventh, as you can see in the table, if in this seventh and the sixth bit we write 00, then A reference pin is selected as the higher reference, but we have to give the voltage from outside. It has to be set externally. If we set in the seventh and the sixth bit it makes 0 and 1, then it means that AVCC pin is being chosen as the what do we say, higher level reference. 1 0 it is reserved, that means it is not been used. Then 1 1 is that the internal 1.1 volts that is present in the atmega has to be used as the higher reference value. And also one thing we have to make sure that when the conversion is taking place, that means suppose if we have given a voltage of maybe 2 volts, and that 2 volts is getting converted into its equivalent digital value, and if at when the conversion is in process, and if we try to change the 7 and the 6 bit, that means we are trying to change the higher reference value, then the conversion then the reference will not be changed. It will be changed only after the conversion has been completed. The fifth bit is ADLAR bit, which is used to for left adjustment of result. Now, what is this left adjustment of result? As we have earlier discussed, that the conversion from analog to digital, the resultant is a 10-bit number. So the 10-bit number is to be stored or is stored in two data registers. Since the registers are 8-bit each, so to fit the data in two registers are used. So the method of storing these result is two ways. One is left adjusted result and one is right adjusted result. So the fifth bit is used, which decides in which type or in which manner the result will be stored. If ADLAR bit is equals to 1, then the result will be left adjusted. Left adjusted result means the lower register will store the 2 bits, and the upper register will store the 8 bits. Means starting from the 6th bit of the lower register will progress, and ultimately will end up in the 9, and the last bit will be stored in the 8th bit of the higher register. You can see in the figure. And if ADLAR bit is made 0, then the result is write justified. Write justified means the result will, the first bit of the conversion will be stored in the lower register from its 0th bit, and so on, and the final bit of the result will be stored in the what do we say, the first bit of the ADCH register. So basically this ADLAR bit is used to control the manner in which the result will be stored. Then the next comes the 4 bits, that is bit 0 to 3. The fourth bit is sorry, the 0 to third bit. So these are used for the analog selection bits. The values of this bit selects which analog inputs are connected to the ADC. You can see that from the table, and accordingly we'll understand how the bits are written and which according to the channel selection. Now, as discussed earlier, the last 4 bits are used for the to decide which channels are connected to the ADC. So, for example, if it is we have connected the input to analog input to the zero channel, then in these 4 bits it will be written as 000 and so on. Coming to the next register, that is ADC control and status register A. As the name suggests, that this register is used for controlling the ADC, as well as some of the bits of this register will provide us with the status. That means what is happening in the analog to digital converter through this register. So now let us proceed with the first 7th bit, that is ADC enable bit. If this bit is turned 1, it means the ADC is enabled, and if this bit is 0, that means the ADC is turned off. So unless and until we write 1 in this particular bit, the analog to digital conversion won't take place, and the pins, the 6 or the 8 pins, depending upon the package of the Atmega, will behave as general purpose input output pins. Coming to the 6th bit of the status and the control register A, that is ADC start conversion. Either you can write a 1 or you can write a 0. If we write 0 to this bit, it has no effect. If we write a 1, what does it mean? That if suppose we write a 1 before the conversion starts, so this bit will remain 1 until the conversion from analog to digital is taking place, and as soon as the analog value is converted into 10-bit digital value, this bit will be set to 0. Then comes the next bit, that is ADC auto trigger enable. What this does mean is, as soon as we apply the analog input to the ADC, it has to be given a trigger to trigger, so as to now you can start with the conversion. So the ADC, if this bit is set to 1, auto triggering of the ADC enable. Actually ADC is triggered automatically. So what happens is, when we write 1 in this particular bit, the ADC will start conversion on the positive edge. Positive edge means the rising edge, and the trigger source, trigger source, that means that is required, is selected by writing ADC trigger select bits in the ADC status control register B, that we'll see next after we complete status register A. Coming to the fourth bit, that is an ADC interrupt flag. So what is this important is, whenever a conversion is finished, that means, and when the registers, that is the data register high and low, they are updated, this bit is automatically set to 1. So we can say that to check whether the conversion is done or not, we can check with this particular bit. So if the ADC interrupt flag is set to 1, then we can make a conclusion that the conversion has taken place, or the conversion is complete. And if this bit is 0, then it means that the conversion is still taking place. We should wait for the further action till the bits becomes 0, sorry, the bit becomes 1. Then the third bit comes the ADC interrupt flag. Basically, this is used to enable or disable the interrupt in case of interrupt driven ADCs. There are ADCs which are interrupt driven as well. Now coming to the last three bits of the ADC status and control register A. These bits are prescaler bits. Now first let us understand what is this prescaler and why is it needed. As we all know that the ADC converts analog signal to digital signal, and this conversion is taking place at regular intervals. Now the intervals is determined by the clock frequency. The clock frequency within which a ADC can operate is generally in the range of maybe 50 kilohertz to 200 kilohertz. But the CPU, the frequency of the CPU is in megahertz. So it is required that the ADC has to be provided with a lower frequency so that it can operate properly. Now, rather than providing a separate frequency source for the ADC, what is done is the frequency of the CPU is divided by a factor, and this after dividing it, the frequency can be used as the frequency for the ADC. So this division method, or the part of division, or the method of this division, is called as the prescaling. So the prescaling factor, if we write in the now we have this three bits. If I write 000 in these three bits of the ADC and the status control register, it means that whatever is the clock frequency of the CPU, it will be divided by 2 and fed to the analog to digital converter. And now suppose if I have to get the more or less the frequency, and the last division factor, as you can see in the table, is if I write 111 in this particular bit, then whatever is the clock frequency, it will be divided by 128. So by basically we can say that this particular three bits are used so as to obtain the reduced frequency so that it can be fed to the analog to digital converter. Coming to the next register, that is ADC control and status register B. We have to study the sixth bit of this register, that is an ACME bit, that is nothing but analog comparator multiplexer enable. Before proceeding with the status of this bit, let us roughly understand what is this comparator and all. Actually, Atomega 328 has two pins for analog voltage comparison. If you check the pin diagram, you will see there are two pins which are named as AIN0 and AIN1. AIN0 and AIN1 are connected to a comparator which is internally present in the ADC, and AIN0 is the positive terminal of the comparator and AIN1 is the negative terminal. So if we want to compare two analog voltage, we can give to these two pins. And in case if the suppose we apply two voltages to AIN0 and AIN1, and the AIN0 voltage is higher than the AIN1 voltage, then an A0 AC0 bit of an ACSR register is set to 1. Now we'll come back how is it this related to this analog comparator multiplexer enable. See, when this bit is 1 as well as the ADC is switched off, that means the ADC is disabled, then the ADC multiplexer selects the input which is connected to the ADC channel. That means whatever analog input has been given, it selects this input as the negative input to the analog comparator, and even if you give a voltage separately to that AIN1 pin, it will be not be considered by the comparator. So this is the first condition. And when this bit AC ME bit is set to 0, then whatever voltage is given at the AIN1 AIN1 pin will be acting as the negative terminal for that analog comparator. So in short, if we have to say, we can say that this ACME bit is basically used to control or to enable that internal analog comparator. But for enabling that analog comparator, the necessary condition is the ADC has to be switched off. Coming to the last three bits of the ADC status and control register B, these three bits are ADC auto trigger source. What does this it signifies? It signifies that these three bits will decide that which source will be acting as a trigger for the analog to digital conversion. Now, suppose if we select 011, if we write 011, it simply means that from the table you can see that the output of the timer or the counter compare match A will be used as the trigger source. Now, if AD80 bit of the status control register is 1, then only the setting of these three bits will be helpful. If that AD80 bit is set 0, then the settings of these three bits have no effect. Then the conversion will be triggered by the rising edge of the selected interrupt flag. So if we have to sum up, we can say that these three bits helps, or these three bits are used as in which source will be used as a triggering source for the analog to digital conversion. Coming to the next two registers, that is the data register low and data register high, we have already discussed that in these two registers the resultant or the result of the ADC conversion, which is a 10 bit number, which is 10 bit, is stored here. So the manner or the fashion in which the data will be stored in this is decided by the ADLAR bit, which is in the ADMUX register. So again we'll revise that if this ADLAR bit of that ADMUX register equals to 1, then the result will be left justified. Left justified means, as you can see in the image, that left justified means the result will be stored two bits, the first two bits will be stored in the lower and the remaining 8 will be stored in the higher register. And if ADLAR equals to 0, that means the result is right justified, and the lower register will store the 8 bits and the remaining two bits will be stored by the higher register. Coming to the last register of the analog to digital converter, that is digital input disable register. What does it mean? Suppose, as you all know, that we have maybe 6 to 8 analog pins. These analog pins can be analog input pins rather. These analog pins can be used as digital pins as well. So when you are using these pins as analog pins, then it is very necessary to specify that the pins will not be used for digital input at that particular time. So why is it necessary to specify? Because this will reduce the power consumption of the digital input buffer. So what has to be done is, for example, we are giving an analog input on channel number 7. Then in this particular register, the bit corresponding to the seventh channel should be written as 1. If it is written as 1, it specifies that that channel number 7 is being used for analog input and it cannot be used for digital input unless and until analog to digital conversion has been completed. So let us sum up what we all studied in this particular lecture. We started with the block diagram of the analog to digital converter. In that block diagram there was a multiplexer, a separate input for the temperature sensor as well, and a sample and hold circuit, and ADC registers. Then we saw the features of the ADC, that it is a 10-bit ADC having successive approximation method. Then it has a sample and hold circuit, and so on. And the last we studied the different six registers that are used for controlling the ADC, and also we saw the importance of each bit in each of these six registers. Thank you so much.